Hello, and welcome to Landloss Lookout. We at Healthy Golf know that your observations lead to restoration. On Louisiana's Gulf Coast, the Mississippi River Delta has grown into one of the most fertile landscapes in the world. This delta is a sportsman's paradise, while also bearing witness to some of the largest ecosystem losses on record, including over 400 square miles of marshland lost to oil and gas activities. The Delta provides an international flyway for migratory birds, but also provides food and shelter for those of us who call it our home. New Orleans is a much safer place from powerful storms of the Gulf with our wetlands than without. Now, faster than ever, the sea is rising to take our flood protection away. We need the governments and the companies who took the land away to restore it for the sake of global wildlife, but also for our food and shelter. According to the Louisiana Coastal Protection and Restoration Authority, the major cause of water rise into the future will be sea level rise related to climate change and not subsidence as previously announced. But seeing is believing. We have to show people where this is occurring. A lot of people do not believe this. The Land Loss Lookout Project is looking to discover how we can see where the increased rise of Gulf waters is drowning Louisiana marshlands. We look to past studies to see how impacts have been identified. And the USGS has identified important coastal impacts by the patterns, the shapes, and colors that they leave on infrared aerial photographs. Infrared takes the muddy waters of Louisiana and turns them into a brightly contrasting red for land and blue or black for water. It gives us the shapes and patterns we need to distinguish the causes of land loss in Land Loss Lookout. You'll be reviewing these infrared photographs and telling us what patterns you see. A tutorial following this video will teach you how to identify one of these characteristic patterns. You'll then be shown photographs and you'll have a chance to indicate whether you can see that pattern in the photo. We can adapt these methods to characterize waterlogging, once thought natural as unnatural. The Gulf has begun to accelerate its rise, and we can identify these areas by photography and locate them on the map so that companies and scientists can independently investigate the impacts of sea level rise on our wetlands. We've seen so much disintegration since 1990, but we have no new studies. It's time for those of us at Healthy Golf and around the world to act. We have to mark these places and look for new patterns. There's long been denial of the easily viewable impacts by oil and gas. So part of this project is just for you to see with your own eyes what the industry has been denying for decades. And as we move into the future, you can see some of what we've been able to restore as well. At Healthy Golf, we know that observation leads to restoration. When this photograph was taken on April 25th, 2010, BP and the United States denied that there was any environmental impact from the Deepwater horizon. But yet we saw oil stretching across the horizon. It took many voices to pull the government's and the company's assessment of the oil disaster closer to what independent observers could see. And because of independent scientific pressure, the government was forced to increase BP's fines, and we now have tremendously beautiful barrier island restoration across Louisiana because of those independent voices. Observation makes all the difference. So I know that if you join us to look out for the land, we'll have a more restored Gulf at the end of the day. You can find out more information on our social media pages at healthygolf.org, or you can join us, become a member, and help support our efforts to restore the Gulf Coast at healthygolf.org/donate. Thanks for looking out.